My name is Christian Atkins. I am the high school woodshop teacher here at Newbury Park High School. Currently we are offering 3 different levels of our woodshop program. A beginning course, an introductory to woodworking, Wood 1. We then have a slightly more advanced course, Wood 2, and then a capstone to our course would be our cabinet making class, each of which is a prerequisite to the next course. So in order to take cabinet making, you must take Wood 2. In order to take Wood 2, you must have already taken Wood 1. In Wood 1, we make and design a lot of very basic projects, picture frames, shelves, small boxes, a little bit of turning on the lathe, make some tops, a lot of little toys, things like that. We do have the ability to make every project unique to the student with our laser engraver that we have here on campus. So at the top of each picture frame, even if there's 35 of them made in the class, that each one may have a separate phrase on the top of it. I love you, Mom, I love you, Dad, things like that. Maybe best puppy in the whole world, who knows. In the Wood 2 course, we start off by making a working lock and key out of nothing but wood. After that, it is much more individualized towards the student on whatever their creative mind allows them to come up with and make. Say there's an empty spot in their living room that they want to fill with a coffee table. Absolutely, let's make some plans and let's build it. With the cabinet making course, it is using a lot of the tools and techniques that they have currently or previously used in Wood 1 and Wood 2 to make small bedside cabinets, and then even the same techniques in that bedside cabinet could be used to make much larger, say, kitchen cabinets. And with the program that we have here, each class being a term class, it really gives the students a lot of time to actually come in and work. Also with our block scheduling, having those 90 minutes per class really allows the students to get a lot of work done in here, as opposed to coming in, sitting down, taking attendance, asking questions for a few minutes, and by the time we get into the shop, it would only seem the students have 30 minutes or so on a normal schedule. But with the block schedule, having those 90 minutes, it's really beneficial to the students and giving them much more time to work on projects and get used to working with the machines on a lengthy period of time.
I started off taking Wood 1 because it seemed interesting and found out like making stuff out of wood, so I took the Wood 2, and then I enjoyed the teacher. Mr. Atkins is pretty cool. So then I waited to my senior year to take cabinet making.
It just started out as just like a beginning Wood 1 student, and then I just like, my dad is really into woodworking, so I was like, why not? Like, I'm good with my hands, so I should just try it out. So I mean, I wasn't that good at it, but I enjoyed it, so then I took Wood 2, and then that's when I really enjoyed it. I made a bow, and now I'm in cabinet making. I really enjoy that. That's like probably one of my favorite wood classes we could take here.
This class makes me more motivated to like come to school and stay on task, just be productive at school. The main rule in woodshop is measure twice, cut once. You try to stay away from making mistakes.
Well, it's definitely one of the most important parts. You got to make sure you follow directions, because if you don't, you might cut a piece of wood too short or something like that, and then you don't have another piece of wood to replace it. So you might mess up your entire project just because you didn't follow directions. That's definitely important.
Math is probably one of the most important parts, because you can't just use a ruler and hope for the best. You have to know how to add them all together. You have to know how to add measurements to make sure they're right. You have to know how to like read the ruler all the way through down to like the 32nd if it's a really extreme project.
I decided to take Woodshop because I met Mr. Atkins outside of school, and he suggested taking the class because he said I would really enjoy it, and it turns out that it's actually pretty cool being productive in school. I'm looking forward to making something.
Probably the most interesting is Atkins sets up projects for you to do, so you have something to look forward to. You're not just like coming in here like thinking of aimless stuff to build. You have to follow his directions, make sure you're doing it right, and then after you're done with all that, you get to do whatever you want if there's something you really want to build.
My favorite project would be restoring a chest from 1952 that one of the janitors gave us. It was his mom's graduation present. The janitor brought in the chest and it was like completely destroyed, and Emmett and I decided we were going to take it over and restore it. So we took off all the varnish, which was completely destroyed by water, and we sanded it, polished it up, made it look all nice, replaced like a lot of the hardware that was all rusted through and just completely destroyed, and made some new parts for it because it's so old, and just made it look new again.
Well, in Wood 2, I made a lock out of wood, and it's functional, so it has a key and everything, and it still unlocks and locks. And I actually made 2 of them, and that was probably like one of my favorites.
My favorite project was a bow I made. It took a lot of like real skill into it because you had to use files. It wasn't all machinery. A lot of it was handmade, and it took a lot to shave the wood down to the right size you needed. There was there was more math into it than just measuring and cutting pieces. And it was really like, it made you, like you had to make it your own to fit your hand.
I think my favorite was definitely this year because, you know, it's cabinet making, so we got to make our own cabinet. It was pretty cool because it's the biggest project I've done. So, you know, I got to make a lot of decisions on like how I wanted it and how I wanted it to look, and it was just really cool. I enjoyed it.
And then if you're really good with your hands, it's probably one of the best spots for you because it's not all the reading you have to do. It's mostly just working with your hands, knowing simple math.
My favorite part of this class would be being able to hang out with my friends and make cool projects that I'm proud of, my peers are proud of, and my parents are proud of.